Good morning, everybody. As always, hope everybody's doing good. Got my glass of now chilled coffee. I can drink it either way. Hope everything going good. I don't know where to start. People are borderline panic, on this virus deal. And like I said, I think I said the other day, before too long we're going to be talking about West Nile and probably something else. So, brother-in-law called the other day, and I joked with him. I said, "You kind of hurting my feelings." He said, "Man, you getting ready for this?" I said, "Dude, I've been ready for anything for years, And maybe I need to do a YouTube channel for prepping. Maybe I'll get more response during this troubled times." And we talked about it and everything. He said, hand sanitizer and your not high quality toilet paper, but the little less than high quality, the high dollar toilet paper, like, I'm not even going to throw names out there. But he said they're getting thin. He said, so, they went and stocked up on some. And I said, well, I keep a good stock. And I'm offended that you would have to ask me that question. We think a lot in that line as far as prepping and stuff like that, because the stuff we buy has got a shelf life for a long time, and when it's rotated out, all you're doing is just doing your everyday thing and cooking and what you cook with and stuff. And what's wrong with that, having extra? You never know. You have a natural catastrophe, a tornado or something like that, or a big power outage. It doesn't have to be a terroristic deal. Look at Tennessee. Prayers out to them. Goodness. And then they had a 4 point something magnitude earthquake in Oklahoma. What in the world going on? What are y'all doing? Anyway, it could be anything, people. Anything at all. We prep for anything that will disrupt our normal way of life, and we carry on until such event occurs. We carry on and enjoy life. There's some people, on Facebook and stuff said, well, we're planning on bugging out. Okay, if in your area and the situation and the conditions warrant bugging out, go for it. And the reason being that some of them had legit, concern, because in the areas up north where these particular people live and reside, they're talking about their state or their county doing in-house quarantine. And there again, I brought up the deal, and they finally, a few of them caught on, and I told them, I said, they said, well, do martial law because, I mean, we got 330 million people average in this country. So, you know, let me turn this fan down. I forget about that when I start recording. I'm sorry. You figure the magnitude of people that the government can't cover. I'm sorry. So there we go with quarantine versus martial law. It is so much easier if you think about it with an open mind. If you think about it, it would be so much easier to do in-house quarantine, and I'm all for that. I mean, but again, that's going to cripple a lot of hard-working people, you know, that work paycheck to paycheck, you know. And it, you know, we can go for quite a while myself, but still, there's a lot of people that can't even go that far. They're one paycheck from being homeless. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough, and I talked about that on Facebook, and they're finally starting to catch on, you know, in-house quarantine. People are more subject to go with that than they are martial law, because if you force certain things, you know, empower enforcement on people to in-house, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. I'm sorry, I mean, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. There's going to be a lot of people buck the system, and it's going to be a mess. So let's do in-house quarantine, and people are more subject to fall into that than they are martial law. So there again, I can't stress that enough to people to be prepared. Now, if they impose in-house quarantine in your area, what are you going to do? You should have already thought about this, played the what-if game, and again, get a plan and go over a plan. I mean, it's frustrating, and I'm not the only person out there that's been talking about this, and but it's so frustrating when people just like lose it. We got to plan, people. I do. But, you know, then I have to stop myself, because myself and a whole bunch of other people have put the word out to the public, either by YouTube, Facebook, and so on. Even CDC done that. They're talking about, you know, having a 3-month supply. I just don't understand. And that's where people are caught in that bubble, and they like their little bubble. It's comfort, it's convenience, it's, you know, it's all good. We're gonna be fine. And you're trying to get a roll of toilet paper, or you can't get an Uber to bring you a Big Mac or Whopper or canned chicken or Chick-fil-A, it ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen. In-house quarantine means that you are confined to your house, your place. I know Washington has imposed that, is what I heard. California is supposedly under a state of emergency. And I read a deal that there's cases in Tennessee. There's a cruise ship recently, like past day or so, that is sitting at the docks in quarantine. I think that's the second cruise ship that has been quarantined. Do you have a plan, people? Do you have a plan? And if they haven't imposed the quarantine in your area yet, go get a plan. Be prepared, please. I mean, we've said it enough over and over. Facebook, social media, Instagram, Twitters, all of them have. CDC, the government, has said this. So, please, and because there's already some form of panic going on, because, you know, I hear reports all the time of empty shelves and no water, no toilet paper, no bleach, no Clorox wipes, no hand sanitizer, and da-da-da. You know, I went and bought some hand sanitizer yesterday. I think I showed y'all a video of I got some cheap toilet paper, and it's all of that is stored, because there's no need for that right now. My wife's going to come down, and we're going to have a plan. We're going to go over a plan. So, just have a plan. And like I said, if they haven't imposed and tried to enforce anything in your area, do it now. And be prepared. And my prayers out to those that will suffer economically, because it is going to be a hardship. I'm not going to sugarcoat that either. It's going to be a hardship, no doubt. So, I mean, people, and hopefully, and I pray every day, hopefully this blows away. And a lot of people have it in their mind that is the case. It's just going to blow away. And that's all good, people, please. But all that extra stuff you got, that's just less stuff you'll have to buy, you know, go around. And then we come across something else that comes along. This has been probably the most since probably the early to mid 1900s, you know. I mean, that sounds like a long time ago, but you know, There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we had not a virus necessarily, but we had anthrax. We had SARS. We had Ebola, however you say that. We've had it. We've dealt with it. We went through that. So do your research, look it up, be prepared, and I'm going to communicate with a few people up north and down here. So right now I can't do anything but advise people up north. I've even created a rough plan, and basically you just fill in the blanks for your area, for your region. And I told a guy the other day, after teaching cultural diversity for so long, there is things up north that are more demand because of their region and their culture that we would laugh at here in Texas. We don't need that. Well, So, I mean, I can't, like I told them up there up north, I said, I can't devise the perfect plan. I'll give you the basics, and then you just fill in what applies to you. And that way it'll just kind of, I didn't think about that. Oh, yeah, we need to, we'll do this, So, I've done that a few times, so, I mean, to me, it's simple, the basics, so. Some people get overwhelmed, they get sidetracked, they get distracted, they get into panic mode, and they can't think. And that's common. That is the way the human body is. I mean, you can't think. Well, there's a lot of us that have significant training in adverse situations and conditions. So that's where we come in and help. So anyway, guys, take it easy. I'm taking it easy today. I have run. I did 160 some odd miles of how I did it, I don't know. 161 actually miles in a span that stretches 41 miles. I did a lot of running around this week, and that was just yesterday, 161 miles. And from this point to a little bit past half of my area is 42 miles. So I'm gonna lay back a little bit, just observe, offer a hand, give advice, and just take it easy today. I got to work on another plan for some people. I got my laptop, and I'm gonna work on a plan, and I can actually do that here because it's in Texas, so I can be more precise. But anyway, take it easy and plan, people. Get a plan. Be prepared. That's what this site's about. Look at other YouTube channels. They have a detailed and all this stuff. And if you run across one that kind of imposes my way of the highway, you get rid of it. They ain't that. Some people may laugh at my plan. Some people may add, may take away. You know, I don't care. It's my plan for me and my family. Anyway, enjoy the weekend coming up. If I don't come back on, I've got a lot of computer work I got to do. So take care and be safe out there.